But the reality is that this is that important to me that I am pushing past all of that uncomfortableness. The other thing is that when you don't know how to do something, you suck at it really bad in the beginning. I started a business 13 years ago and I was terrible at it for the first 5 years, but I loved it. So I pushed past being bad at it. I share this with you for a lot of reasons. One, because I hope that you will like and subscribe and help me get better at doing these videos. I hope you will understand that I feel so passionately and I'm so concerned about where we are as a country that I'm compelled to do these videos, whether it ruins my relationship or my business. None of that matters if we don't live in a democracy anymore, and if things go down the route that we think, so many of us think it's going down, which is to an authoritarian regime. And so I feel compelled, despite the fact of all of the things that I could lose, to do this, because the loss of not doing it, of sitting idly by, is so much greater to me than being uncomfortable learning how to do these videos. So that being said, I'm asking for you guys to also think about what's hard for you. What's difficult for you when it comes to talking to your friends and your family and talking to people in your life, sharing with them, and doing it in a way that educates them, but providing questions to them, like, have you thought about this, or tell me about that. I don't know the answers. I really don't. I think I'm like so many other content creators on YouTube that I watch that in one way we're like, MAGA's lost their mind. You cannot help them. Just leave the dead behind and move on to the next because they have chosen. But then on another day we feel, well, maybe there's hope because we watch a video, like a lot of us have seen this video of these farmers who voted for Trump, and they are suffering now because they're not getting the money that they were promised. And now they're what do they say? FAFO. And so some of them are having real conversations now with people on TikTok or other social media platforms. But there was a question somebody presented to him was, would you care about all these other communities, like the trans community and the Black community and the immigrant community and the women community, if this hadn't happened to you? And he said, honestly, no, I wouldn't. And I'm sorry for that, but I'm here now. So what can I do? And if anybody's watching this that is in that situation, I would say what you can do is you need to organize. That farmer, he needs to go out and get his other farmers and organize. That's what we need. Because we are not going to be able to do this without Republicans. We're not going to be able to do this without MAGA people changing their mind. So as I vacillate, like so many other people also vacillate about, should we leave MAGA behind? Or they just have their brains just fallen out of their heads? Are they just done? Or is there hope for them? I don't know. Today I feel like there's hope for them. Today I feel that this thing that is MAGA, this thing that is this authoritarian movement that we're going to, is going to come for everybody at some point. And the question I have is it going to come for enough people and wake enough people up before it's too late for us to organize? So I heard that it's like takes 3.5% of the population to revolt. And I think in this case, we might need, 5% of the population to revolt. But we need enough people right now, especially Republicans, to call their senators and say, this is not okay. Look, it's not about waste and fraud. It's just not. That is a lie that's being told to you. But even if it was, nobody wants waste and fraud in the government. Nobody. We all want it to be gone. But you don't do it on the backs of children and poor people and our relationships in the world. You do it on the backs of billionaires. You start with the Pentagon and all of their contracts with Elon Musk, who's getting billions and billions, hundreds of billions of dollars from the Pentagon. You start with those contracts. That's where you start. You don't start with the most vulnerable of our society. It's not about whether you believe in, this or that. It's about morality. I mean, that's what it comes down to, what kind of morals you have. I was raised with integrity and respect for all people, and my mother still shows it today. My mother is the epitome of living her life the way that she taught me how to live it. The kindness that she treats other people with, or that she shows other people is how she raised me. For all of the flaws and all the things that we were challenged with, her and I, it was just, she raised me well. She raised me with manners. She raised me to be kind, to think of other people. And everything else, we've worked through, and we have a great relationship now. But I respect her so much more as I get older because of how she lives the principles she taught me. And I think so many people struggle because the people that they were raised by taught them even more so about God, about religion, about church, about community, and then they don't really live that life. And they hate so many groups of people, and they vote against not only their own interest, but the interest of their children and grandchildren. And that is what's so painful, like to watch people hurt themselves, hurt their children and their grandchildren. But we are all going to feel the effects. And many of us are feeling the effects of what MAGA did and who they voted for. And I think that that is the problem. That's where the anger and frustration comes. It's like, yes, you want to burn your own house down. I get it. But now you're affecting my house. And so now we have to have some conversation about it, when we probably should have been having those conversations a long time ago, but we didn't. And that's where I think you and me and everybody who thinks like we do, who wants democracy, where we are is we have to find a way to push past this uncomfortableness. Just like I'm pushing past these videos that suck, but I'm passionate. I never realized how passionate I am about America. I never realized how passionate I am about our democracy and how lucky we are to live in a country that maybe hasn't been 100% free for everybody, but at least it had the promise of being free. It had the promise of growing into the realization that all people are created equal and all people could have an amazing life if they just put a little effort in. And we've always come so close. Like, we've come close so many times, and the people have revolted by voting in Republicans. And every time we vote in a Republican, our dreams, our hopes are completely just thrashed. And then we need to vote in a Democrat to fix it all again. And by the time that they fix it, people don't appreciate how rapidly it's being fixed, and they just get frustrated. So then they vote in another Republican. The reality is most people want the same thing. Most people feel that health insurance should be mostly free or inexpensive, that it should go back to being a nonprofit, because it was a nonprofit in the 70s. And people should be able to go see the doctor without breaking them. And how many people die because they don't go to the doctor? I think that we all want the same things, and I think we have to find a way to articulate that clearly and inspire people. And I don't know the answers to that, but this is my little part. So again, I appreciate you guys watching. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.